Good evening. This is the initial post for Domain 4, A, B, and C. Domain 4 encompasses the professional moral standards that teachers should seek to follow. For A, B, and C include an evaluation process for reflecting on teaching in order to identify what needs to be improved, and then teachers making the efforts to correct things, making sure to keep up with student information and grades, and then continually keeping parents informed on the happenings of the class. A teacher is proficient in 4A when he or she uses reflection to evaluate on the effectiveness of the instructional outcomes accurately with supporting documentation. And they should be able to offer suggestions as to what would increase achievement if the lesson is going to be taught again in the future. And that's just a reminder to them next year, or the next semester, whenever it is that they're going to teach that again, so that they can make improvements on their instructional practices. An evaluator would see and hear the teacher collaborate with teachers or be able to read personal reflections as evidence that is submitted as an artifact. In post-observation conferences, the teacher should be able to explain what worked in the class and what didn't work, what they identified during the lesson that needed improvement or possibly some interventions. And then they should be able to offer some ideas for their own improvement. In the video, in the video that was provided for 4A, the teacher reflected on her lesson and she highlighted the ways that she assisted for students that were in need. She was able to use a student who had prior knowledge of the article that they were reading to assist some others, but she had to build his confidence or her confidence so that he was able to help those others, and then the teacher was able to move around and assist the other students. A teacher who is proficient in 4B accurately assesses and keeps running records of the student progress in class for the teacher, student, and the parents to see. An evaluator would be able to see grade books, data charts, assessment outcomes, and progress towards the student goals should be identified by the teacher. A teacher who is proficient in 4C seeks to keep families informed on instruction and their students' outcomes as they are assessed. Families should also be engaged in instruction in order, I don't know if that came out right. Families should also be engaged in instruction in order for the students to be able to connect what they're learning to their lives. The videos pointed out a few things that are important for teachers and administrators to remember. The key with everything is that engagement does not equal involvement. Engagement is what your goal should be. And this engagement draws families into deeper relationships that are based on trust and respect for the family. And the students begin to observe this, and that builds trust and respect for the school as well. One of the videos suggested doing home visits to connect and let families know that, yes, we're here to help you with academic needs, but what other needs do you have? We would like to be able to help in any way we can with those as well. This also builds trust and respect between the students because they see that you care about more than just them. A third video challenged us to remember that effective parent communication begins with keeping parents and students in the loop prior to them having the list of questions. And we heard in the video, they have hundreds of emails every day. Educational leaders and teachers can do this if they are consistently providing information through a platform that parents are able to check. And, that means you have to survey your parents or get to know your parents to know what platform works best for them. But what I like is when the video talked about empowering students to lead the parent communication. That's a paradigm shift with responsibility for communication given to the students. I'm a big fan of student-led conferences. I did those in my own classroom for years, and I thought that allowed them to take ownership of what was going on in the class. And when there was a question by the parent, I always wanted the student to answer the question first. I could chime in, but it is so beneficial for them to own what's going on in the classroom. And, they tend to give honest reflections for what's going on themselves. An evaluator would be able to identify a teacher's proficiency in 4C through copies of emails, phone logs, newsletters, invitations to different things that are going on. But the teacher should also have sign-in sheets, agendas, and some evidence of what the students and parents work together to complete or to make some progress with students, whether that's increasing achievement or taking care of discipline issues or whatever. So y'all have a good afternoon.